Hello, BookTube. It's Friday. It's June the 1st. That means Friday Reads. And I've got a small selection of books here that I'll be reading this weekend. I've already read one of them. And I'm sure it's just the beginning. It's not all that I'll be reading this weekend, especially since editions are flying fast and furious. The mail will bring books, the finished copies of books that are June releases right around the corner that I'll need to read. And there's always used books. Now that I'm going out and about again, they are starting to accumulate. But I wanted to show you some of these because these I know for sure I will be getting to. And the first one is this. It's The Lion's Binding Oath and Other Stories. This is a collection of short stories by Ahmed Ismail Yusuf, a Somali exile, a Somali refugee who writes stories about the Somali War and about his experiences before and after the war. And there's, as you can tell from the title story, is about a boy who befriends a lion. So there's a generous admixture, it sounds like, of African folklore and African magical realism, that sort of thing. I've heard a lot of rumors, a lot of people saying that the bits and pieces that they know, that it's worth my time to read. So I'm going to give it a try. I think it comes out in just this paperback, just a $16 paperback from Catalyst Books. And I want this is definitely on the stack for this weekend. The next one is one that was on the stack, but I just dove right into it. I read it right away. This is by John Hendricks, and it's The Faithful Spy. It is a graphic novel about Dietrich Bonhoeffer and the plot to kill Adolf Hitler. And it was tremendously good. Just tremendously good. Let me see. I don't know. This comes out in September, so it'll be a hardcover when it comes out. And that is our author. But I mean, Bonhoeffer is of course a perennially fascinating subject anyway. But I wouldn't have thought that you could make this kind of book out of it and still have it be both informative and reverential, and it's amazing. so in September, when the finished copy is out in bookstores, I will certainly be recommending it to you all. But I already read this and loved it, and it didn't take long. Keep in mind, that is not long. That is not even. These two together represent little more than an hour. Then this next one, I got it a while ago, and I'm interested, but I haven't got to it. I'm so behind on stuff. This is, I think, soon. Yeah, this comes out this month. I don't have a finished copy, so I don't have any artwork to show you. But this is Glenn David Gould's I Will Be Complete. It's a memoir by the author of Carter Beats the Devil and Sunnyside. This author writes fantastic historical fiction, just incredibly good. Carter Beats the Devil is one of those books that I can hand to almost anybody and know that they will like it. And this is his memoir, so and that intrigues me on its own, but I haven't even cracked it. It's been sitting on the shelf, so I'm going to do that this weekend. And then another one is one of 2018's unconventional biographies. I've been getting a lot of unconventional biographies, things that aren't dead Kennedys, dead emperors, or dead presidents. So they aren't British monarchs. So you would think that I might not have as much interest in them, and yet they've been so good. So many of them have been so good that I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to every new unconventional biography I get. And this is it's Mike Stanton's book, Unbeatable, about Rocky Marciano, the boxer Rocky Marciano. The subtitle is Rocky Marciano's Fight for Perfection in a Crooked World, and it's all about the great boxer. I'll have to practice what I preach here on this channel and study up on him a bit, just so that I have a basic conception of the outlines of his life and career, so that I'm not constantly, you don't want to be the reader who's constantly stopping the author to say, excuse me, what's that? Excuse me, what do you mean by that? I mean, I'm not going to be a boxing expert by any means, but a little bit of preparatory reading is all you need, just 15 or 20 minutes of preparatory reading, so you have the basic gist of the story, and you're not slowing the author down. But I'm hoping that it will give me the same kind of unconventional experience that so many other unconventional biographies have this year. And then the last one I want to show you for today, we'll keep this nice and short. This is just the beginnings of Friday Reads. This is, in fact, if I can keep my writing under control, these books will probably literally be Friday Reads. They will probably be what I read today, going into tonight, all the way up to dawn tomorrow. So I could actually do a Saturday Reads. Maybe I will. But this next one, I didn't see it coming. I didn't request it. I had no idea what it was. It's by Jonathan French, and it's called The Grey Bastards. And that is an elf on the cover that you don't want to mess with. An elf with a top knot you probably don't want to mess with. And This is our author. I didn't know anything about this when I got it. Jonathan French lives in Atlanta with his wife and son. He's a devoted reader of comic books, an expert thrower of oddly shaped dice, and a serial con attendee. That'll be gibberish to a lot of you who aren't familiar with SFF terminology. It means that he plays board games, D&D probably, Dungeons and Dragons, and he goes to conventions. And this is, let me see, call them outcasts, call them savages. They've been called worse by their own mothers. But Jackal is proud to be a gray bastard. He and his fellow half-orcs, oh sorry, they're not elves, they're half-orcs, patrol the barren wastes of the Lot lands, spilling their own blood to keep civilized folk safe. A rabble of hard-talking, hog-riding, whoremongering brawlers they may be, but the bastards are Jackal's sworn brothers, fighting at his side in a land where there's no room for softness. But once Jackal's in charge, as soon as he can unseat the bastard's tyrannical, seemingly unkillable founder, there's a few things they'll do different, better. Or at least that's the plan, until the fallout from a deadly showdown makes Jackal start investigating the Lot lands for himself. Soon he's wondering if his ambitions and his arrogance have blinded him to the truth about this world and the bastard's place in it. In a quest for answers that takes him from decaying dungeons to the front lines of an ancient feud, Jackal finds himself battling invading orcs, rampaging centaurs, and grubby human conspiracies alike, along with a host of dark magic so terrifying they'd give even the hardiest bastard pause. I like the sound of it. It sounds like Conan the Barbarian reimagined as an orc. So I'm going to give it a try. I believe, if I remember correctly, this is a June release that I just didn't see coming at all. Yeah, this is June 19th. So that is my Friday reads. This is The Grey Bastards, Unbeaten, about Rocky Marciano. I Will Be Complete, a memoir by the novelist Glenn David Gould. The Faithful Spy by John Hendricks, about Dietrich Bonhoeffer. And The Lion's Binding Oath, fiction by a young Somali about Somalia. So that is my Friday reads for now. The beginnings of one anyway. This is the spine around which I will flesh out an entire weekend of reading. But in the meantime, I'll wrap this up and I'll see you soon. Thank you, BookTube.